Yes, now motor racing, as you well know, used to be considered a sport for privileged people from privileged background. That's until Sir Lewis Hamilton came along and smashed that perception.
And two teenagers he's inspired are Ruben Stanislaus and Lewis Appiagyei, who have made big dreams and they want to make it right there into Formula One, just like Sir Lewis.
A new BBC documentary follows them during one season from karting onto the professional circuit. Along the way, they even got to meet their hero. Let's have a look.
You want them to be better than you, have more than you.
If you recognise that your child has a talent, you have to follow that path.
Everything this year is geared towards making the step up into proper race cars.
It's incredibly expensive. People have made themselves bankrupt by literally trying to follow the sport.
It's a huge commitment for the entire family, make no mistake.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Honest to meet you.
How you going?
Very good, thank you.
I was very impressed with their story. We've been trying to give people opportunities that wouldn't normally have got in a race car.
Now, it's gone to another level.
Got under the moon already.
So I want to be a racing driver, and I'm not going to stop until I get there.
Ruben and Lewis join us now. As you can see, very determined young men. Can I ask why? Why racing?
I can't really put my finger on it. It's just something that's always appealed to me from when I was about 4 years old. Always been attracted to cars, and the passion just grew as I got older, really.
And you'd have to be passionate because it's so hard to get into, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an incredibly hard sport to pursue, so you've got to put a lot of commitment into it, and yeah, I mean, it's a huge time commitment, so obviously a lot of your time has to go into just being a better racing driver, so yeah, it's definitely quite a tough sport to get into.
4 years old. I mean, it's so young to be doing that. We've both been saying that, imagining our kids when they were really little doing that. I mean, I find it hard enough watching my children on a pogo stick, let alone going around a racetrack. I mean, were you scared yourself, or was it just normal?
Not really. I thought like the fear element of it, just put it in the back of your mind and then just enjoy it. Obviously, it's a dangerous sport, but when you're actually racing and competing, you don't really think about any of that.
And I would imagine, because John and I were saying we would be watching between our fingers if it was our kids, but your parents, we see in the documentary, I mean, it's not just that they support you, but they make enormous sacrifices for you as well. How important is that support?
Yeah, of course. It's obviously it's more of a family thing. I mean, at the start, I mean, we're just young kids doing karting, so obviously the family's going to sacrifice a lot of their time on the weekend just to come to our races. So yeah, it's a huge thanks to them that we got to this point. So yeah.
We talked about Sir Lewis Hamilton, and you met him. I mean, talk us through that moment, Lewis.
Yeah, it was amazing, honestly.
Are you named after him, by the way?
No,
okay.
It's just coincidence, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, obviously I've been following him since he started in 2007. Obviously I've always been to cars and racing, so watching him reach the top, the pinnacle of motorsport, he's been a great inspiration for me, and I'm sure he's been a massive inspiration for the next generation. So
what
yeah,
did he say to you? What nuggets of wisdom did he impart?
Yeah, so I mean, he more or less consolidated a lot of the feelings I had about how I should carry on with my journey. So he was just telling us to just work hard, and obviously education is very important. So he told us to keep our heads down. So yeah, it was great to hear that from him.
That's the last thing you wanted to hear, wasn't it?
Yeah, but obviously it's important.
But Ruben, you talked about the sort of commitment to driving, to getting better as a racer. But it's not just that, is it? You've got to be good at the schmoozing, at the networking, at building up that funding, and that is not easy for everyone.
Exactly. A lot of people think you just have to have a load of talent and you'll make it. You could have all the talent in the world. If you don't have the funding, you won't be recognised.
How do you find that side of things?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Knowing the right people, just getting yourself out there, a lot of social media work, just getting big companies on board to have that trust in you and take you through your career. That's all you need, really. And talent, but a mix of both.
That's almost the easy bit, though, isn't it? I guess that's what makes it unfair in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like any other sport. I mean, say, for example, with football, if you're good, you're being paid from an early age as a youth player. But in motorsport, it's more or less you pay until you're in F1. So it's that's why I think, in my opinion, there's a lack of diversity, because it's difficult to build up that funding, because once you move out of karting, the prices to move up into the different formulas are very expensive. So it's very important to build those connections. And yeah, I mean, that's the main reason we did this documentary, because we just want to shed a light onto that. And I mean, obviously, we want to take that step up ourselves. So yeah, hopefully building up the sponsors for next season. That's the plan for us at the moment.
But even karting's expensive, isn't it? Compared with playing football at the park or whatever. You've got to trailer vehicle around the country and get the repairs done. It's pricey.
Yeah, it is very expensive. So it's thanks to our family, really, that we've got to this point. And we need to start building those connections, and hopefully we can get the sponsors to take that step up.
What's going to happen if at some point you are neck and neck competing against each other?
I mean, at the moment, we're working with each other, we're pushing each other to go further. So that's all we can really focus on now. It'll probably come to that at some point if we're both at the top. But that's for us to battle out.
Nudging each other off the track.
No, we have a lot of respect for each other.
At the moment.
May the best man.
At the moment. Wouldn't it be great if we could play this clip in, 5-10 years, and you're both there at the pinnacle on the grid, and you sat here on the sofa? That would be wonderful. Is that the dream? Is that what you think of? Is that what you chat about?
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely the goal. I mean, every racing driver wants to make it to the top, so, I mean, that's the plan for us.
Yeah.
I guess you have to, in your mind, not stop at anything but winning. That's the mentality of being a racing car driver.
Yeah, of course. You definitely have to be at the top of your game, and especially for people like us, we don't have the money to make mistakes like that. So, yeah, we've got to make sure that we're the best of the best, and yeah, hopefully that will be enough to get us through.
And you're still having fun? You can still go out and hang out with your mates and have a laugh as well, or does this take over everything?
It's a massive sacrifice on social life. It's good to keep a healthy balance, but compared to the average teenager, you do have to sacrifice your time with friends, training 3-4 hours a day, weekends, giving up the whole weekend. So it is difficult, but yeah, I'm just focused on racing at the moment.
There's a lot of focus going on here. I can feel the focus. Good luck to both of you. It's really great to meet you. Well done. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And the guys take part. It's in 2 parts. Part 1 of this We Are England film. It's on the BBC iPlayer now. Part 2 will be released in the new year.
Yeah, if you're a parent, have a pillow at the ready above your eyes.
Especially if you're their parents.
Yeah, exactly. You're watching Breakfast. It's 8:59.